Hello and welcome to the Powerful Personal Brand Podcast. I am your host, Claire Bahn, and on today's episode, I am going to be discussing the 3 A's of personal branding. I'm kind of excited about these. I talk about these a lot, and I just wanted to put it in a podcast. So the 3 A's, I think they are so key to building a great personal brand. So let's jump right into it. The first A is altruism. I know that I've discussed this a lot. I believe that it's so important to lead with altruism and give. So giving people the answers to questions that they have is the fastest way to build trust. I have a business coach that I used to work with, and she just basically, she's an executive at a business, and she just started to make videos and just give people information. That she was, she was an expert. She just gave a lot of information. And there's someone that followed her that was like, reached out to her and sent her a direct message and was like, you keep giving me such amazing advice. I have to pay you back. And she was like, what? He's like, can I Venmo you or give you PayPal? I need to give you some money because you've given me so much amazing free advice that I feel guilty. So she was like, wow, I never really thought about what I'm doing and building my brand and actually kind of turning it into a business. So she wasn't a business coach before that. She was just sharing information. And she later turned it into, she's like, I don't even know, like multi-million dollar business at this point. But crazy story about how sharing great information actually makes people want to give you something, whether it's money or they want to give you their email or they want to somehow connect with you because they thank you. It's a way of saying thank you for giving me such great information. So it's so key to building your brand, altruism, and truly giving. So there's an 80-20 rule that I like to say, 80% give, 20% ask. So 80% of the time you are giving great information, and 20% of the time you can say, hey, subscribe to my YouTube channel, go and listen to my podcast, check out this blog. But the rest of the time you are just giving information and you are helping people out, because people will know if you actually care about them. If you are kind of going through the motions and giving this information and it's kind of like this monotone thing, or just kind of like blah, 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 people will know that you are not in it. They will know that you actually don't care, that you don't care about them. And that's ultimately so important. Video is such an amazing tool, but it really does show in the eyes when someone doesn't care. It's just something that you can't get around. So you ultimately want to share information and be truthful and honest, and that is what's going to really help build your personal brand. So if people think that it's a means to an end, it's going to be clear to them, and they're not going to trust you. So altruism is really, really key. So then it goes into the next A, which is authenticity. Because again, if people think that it's a means to an end, you just want this, whatever it is. I just want paid speaking engagements. I just want people to buy my book. Whatever it is, people will know. There is no way to fake it. There just truly is. There are people that have come to want to work with Claire Bahn Group, and we've actually had to turn them away because I can just tell they're not in it for altruism. They want to sell their book. They want to do these things, and they just radiate that. They radiate this, I really need this thing. It's just, one of the previous business I had before Claire Bahn Group, some of you might know, we help people build their online presence for online dating and LinkedIn. So in the dating world, if you think about dating and someone wanted, they were just desperate to get married or whatever it is, and they really wanted to have kids in the next year, like those are the type of things that usually repel people. So when you're not authentic and true and real, then you're going to be repelling people rather than attracting them, because they'll know that you actually don't care about them. They'll know there's something a little off. They may not be able to pinpoint exactly what it is, but they're like, I don't like that person really very much. So Altruism and authenticity are so key to getting people to really like you and trust you and think that the information that you are giving them is valuable. It has to be valuable. You have to actually give them information. So let me go back to the altruism thing. So one of the things that people are afraid of is giving away all of the information. So, kind of joke about this, but you literally could go back and listen to, every video I've ever done, read every blog I've ever done, and you could build your personal brand. I've given you a lot of information, and if you can do all that, then go. But a lot of people will use that information to figure out that I know what I'm talking about, and they'll decide whether they want to work with me or not. And there'll be some that will take the information, figure out how to build their brand, and do it on their own. And you can't be afraid of giving away information because you don't want someone to hire you, because they're not that same individual that will take all of that information and do it themselves would never hire you. They're not your ideal audience. So you have to build your brand and share information to attract your ideal audience, because those people, you can't be afraid that someone's going to take your information and they're going to build their own brand or whatever it may be, because they're not actually your ideal audience anyway. Then the third A, that again is so important. So number 1, altruism. Number 2, authenticity. And number 3, action. You have to take action. Now, I've done podcasts talking about perfectionism and how it's not serving you with your personal brand. It's because it's keeping you from taking action. Now, I mentioned this before, that my business coach used to talk about imperfect action. I love imperfect action. I take imperfect action every single day in my business. It's really the only way to do it. I constantly learn, and I just kind of jump in with both feet. So take action. If you are not taking action, you're not going to have an ROI. You're not going to build your personal brand. You are going to be stuck on the sidelines. So get in there and do it. Do not get stuck in analysis paralysis. Don't get stuck looking at metrics or all of these other information. Just get started. There's no perfect situation. There's no perfect sign that's going to tell you this is the time to do it. You just need to do it now. So imperfect action, but take that action. So let's wrap this up. The 3 A's of personal branding. What are they again? Number 1, altruism. Number 2, authenticity. And number 3 is action. So put all those together and build that fantastic personal brand. And I thank you so much for listening and watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.